Welcome to a very, very special edition of Shoot to Grill. My name is Jason Bailey, and because of the scenario that we are all in with the coronavirus and the COVID-19, we switched up the Shoot to Grill. We've gone to Zoom, which has been awesome, and this is the first time that I've done it at Paradise City, my cabin up in North Georgia, paradisecity.com, and also we got a new sponsor for the podcast as well, pocketpairclub.com. I'm a big poker guy, so if you go to stgpoker.com, that's stgpoker.com, your referral code's already popped in there, and you sign up online, and then you download it on your phone. And if you're like myself, you love to play poker, then you can play for real cash, cash out for real cash. Yeah, Matty J. By going back to the website, stgpoker.com. We'll have all that stuff on the website. All right, so here's where we're at today. We've got a very, very special guest. We've got hip-hop legend, all right? We've got the guy that is going to make sure all you fools are washing your hands properly. That is one.
Yes.
Dougie Fresh is on the podcast. How you doing, Dougie?
Much love, brother. Much love. And thank you for having me on. Yeah, man. We still here and I'm still fresh. I have not lost that yet. Thank God. You know what I mean? And in the midst of all of this, there's a lot going on. You could lose a lot now. You know what I mean?
A lot.
Y'all looking pretty fresh over there too.
Well,
I mean,
When we found out we were going to get you on and possibly DMC joining us, of course, from Run DMC, he might pop in here too. Nate, my producer, was like, dude, we can get Dougie Fresh and DMC on the pod. I'm like, dude, oh my God, tell me when and where. We tell our chef, Matty J is holding a bunch of meat and dishes and just drops everything and says, tell me when and where I need to.
Facts.
Coming on Shoot to Matty, go ahead, tell him, mark out for him. It's okay.
Matty J.
I mean, I kind of got to do that for the legends. I mean, how often do you have this opportunity, to be in a room with, someone that you basically
a Zoom,
right? Zoom room. I mean, you guys, I don't know, I can't speak for myself, man, but God bless Teddy Riley for him doing the whole Zoom thing and Instagram Live with Teddy the other night. And when he dropped the show, people lost their mind, right? Because he told that story. So for you guys that are, into the hip hop, I don't know if you guys knew that Teddy did that record, but I swear to God, I was like 15, 14, and KDAY in Los Angeles. Dougie, you remember that station because that's LA legend. Man, when they dropped that record, the whole city went crazy, like for months,
man.
And because we had never heard anything like that.
Right.
It was just.
But Dougie, back then, man, it was a different world. I don't care what genre of music you were, you delivered that to the radio station, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, we did. It was a whole nother world. But I mean, one thing that doesn't change: good food and good music. No matter what, it's just like mama's old recipe. You know what I mean? Those things don't die because they stand the test of time. So we were fortunate enough to make some songs that really stood the test of time. And I'm just happy that people still like it and they like it to this day. And Teddy Riley's contribution could never be overlooked in regards to his guidance and expertise in making that happen, and Slick Rick and Dennis Bell and a lot of people, Get Fresh crew, just like this show right here, it's a collective effort of everybody working together to make it work. You know what I mean? So it's great. I'm just happy that your man Jay, and everybody here, appreciated the vibe,
Well, look, this was, you go back to the 80s in hip hop, that was when, the hip hop world started to target the white suburban kids, I mean, whether it was, your stuff or if DMC joins us, of course, Run DMC, but, I'm 44 years old. And I remember when Two Live Crew came out, and I'm
I
sitting
remember
there,
that.
like Sally, that girl, so or Band in the USA, all that stuff. You're just like, wow, NWA. Back then you didn't know that you couldn't say certain words. You know what I'm talking about? But to hear that music, and you had no idea that it was the real life stuff from those guys like Easy and Dre or any of those guys.
That's
You were
right.
just, from my perspective, some white kid in suburbia that's going, this is not Bon Jovi or Poison. What the hell is this? Speaking of Run DMC, DMC's joining Shoot the Grill. How you doing, brother?
What's going on?
D. What's up, D?
What's up, Doug? How y'all doing?
I'm good,
Good.
man.
Matty J. There he is, as promised. Not only Dougie Fresh, but DMC.
Matt.
What's up, y'all?
Legend. Yes.
Yo,
You
you look like you got a real cozy house over there, D. It's cozy, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And I see that picture in the back, man.
Oh yeah,
you're really living good. You're living good.
The artwork, got the artwork on the wall. Exactly.
Well, let's start it off before we get into a deep conversation about music and Dougie, what you guys have just recently done to let the people know. Because we are, as we're grilling meats, MEATS, clever entertainment. Matty J is the best in the business when it comes to grilling. And I know before we started this, Dougie, you and I were chit-chatting back and forth. And Matty J, what are you going to cook? These guys eat clean. So you got the Kamado Joe behind you.
Correct.
I've got the Napoleon behind me. That's the propane hooked up here at Paradise City, paradisecity.com. Bam, my cabin you can rent out. And so what are you going to cook for us?
All right. So once I found out that, everybody's changing their lifestyles these days, I know, like I said, Dougie used to have a spot uptown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dougie's. We sold soul food and Caribbean food mixed, because of my background,
So, and then I know Darryl Mack was a big Shake Shack fan, from what I understand, and ribs, man. But I know everybody's eating cleaner.
Still eating chicken and collard greens.
I
grill it. I grill it chicken and barbecue it. It don't have to be the fried chicken.
There it is.
I can still eat chicken and collard greens. The grilled chicken, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Going back to that first record, I love that. That was for those who didn't catch that first line. But so I decided to just switch it up today and do a little clean, since I know everybody's, eating clean these days. And then, like you said, talking to Caribbean, and then kind of just the old Afro-Cuban roots. So I'm actually going to make some Peri shrimp today.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
All right. To walk through the people that are watching for the grilling, because, when it comes to the KJ, you got to talk about temperature, rack placement, what type of rack, what you're doing, and seasoning. So walk us through that.
All right. So today, we're still getting up to temp. We're at about 400 right now. If I can get to 450, that'll be perfect, because shrimp's really only two minutes per side. So it's going to be a real quick run. I just seasoned them with some Atlanta Grill Company Seaboard, which is one of my favorite seasonings. You can get that on atlantagrillcompany.com. And I think they're running a box special right now with all of their seasonings. I swear by them. They're great stuff, very light, no MSG, no crazy, heavy salt. So I like to kind of keep stuff as clean and natural as I possibly can as well. And so I'm just cooking on the regular grates today in the high positions, so that I don't want to get it too close to the flame and allow it to burn. I want those flavors. And then I got some peri sauce. They're still marinating right now. And I'm going to take them off right before we put them on the grill, go back in the crib, plate it up, show it to everybody through virtual Zoom. We're going to break bread together. And,
virtual meeting, it sucks because, guys like Dougie and DMC, usually, the first, Nate, 3 seasons that we've done this, we've been on location. So we've actually been able to eat the food. Now this damn coronavirus has made it do it this way. But the good thing about doing it this way, I get awesome guests that can do it from their house, versus you guys in Atlanta. So Matty J, you kind of take your time. I know the shrimp are going to be only a couple minutes, and we're going to chit chat for a while. So feel free to just hang out and enjoy the conversation, because I know you're huge fans, like I, of our guests. So well, first and foremost, let's talk about the whole thing here. we're all going through this pandemic, right? We're all going through the same. Nobody different than anyone other. But Dougie Fresh, you got a whole bunch of different people, your friends in the music world, to contribute to this video, just to make sure people know how to wash their damn hands, huh?
Right. Well, I'm glad. I was looking at Matty J when he was talking, and he kept going like this. So I know that he must have seen the video, because I know he washes his hands. You know what I mean? But the whole vibe behind it, to be quite honest with you, is that, I never got to personally, maybe only through like this way, thank DMC, obviously, because, he's a part of Hip Hop Public Health.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, brother, more than words can say. And Dr. Williams and Artie Green and all of the whole team, AD, that played a role in this idea and concept of doing one simple thing to save lives. This originated with Dr. Williams having an idea and telling it to the producer, Artie Green, and Artie Green coming to me. And then I thought about it, and D, you would understand this better than anybody. Instead of me saying, clap your hands, it just popped in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I was just sitting around,
crazy.
And it just popped in my hand. I said, wash your hands, everybody. And everybody. And see, D know what I'm talking about, because we did a record together. But I'm kind of like a guy that I just kind of vibe off of energy, and I can pretty much create anything at will. Right. Yep. And so when that came to me, I was just so happy, and I was just very thankful to the creative energy and God and whatever anybody else believe in. But I felt like it was necessary for me to get that. And then when we made the call, and then D, I called Charlie Mack, and I was just talking to him. Right. I just talked to him friendly. And when I was talking to him, he said, yo, what's up with you? I said, man, I'm doing this thing, man, called Wash Your Hands. And then I said, you know what? What if we got everybody in this video to just wash their hands for 20 seconds or more? And I said, we could do the We Are the World of washing hands.
Yeah, washing hands.
We could do the self-destruction of washing hands. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Nate, can you share the wash your hands so everybody that's watching knows what we're talking about? Because you can get it on YouTube, you can download. But see, here's the thing is that it's 20 seconds, right? That's what they say, 20 seconds.
20 seconds or more.
Right, but the video is 3.5 minutes.
Right.
Shout out to Hip Hop Public Health. All the healthcare workers on the front line. Together, we can make a difference.
What's good, y'all? This is Doug B. Fresh coming at you live and direct. All of y'all out there, we got a couple of things I want to talk to y'all about. Wash your hands, everybody. And everybody, wash your hands. Come on, wash your hands, everybody. And everybody. Wash your hands. My people uptown, wash your hands. My people downtown, wash your hands.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Has anyone reached out to you and said, thank you, because I didn't know it was supposed to be 20 seconds, and without your video, I would have never known?
Absolutely. I got a lot of people that came back to me with that, because sometimes you're rushing and you're not realizing that, you're just going in there and doing it real quick and run out. And some people don't even think about doing it
at all. Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How is this affect? Where are you at right now, and how is this whole pandemic affected you?
Well, I'm in I'm in New Jersey, and it's no different from anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And it's just simple information that can keep us healthy, and even deeper than that, it's something that save lives. And the powerful thing about that is, think about it. And I don't care where you're from. I don't care what race, religion, creed, or color you are, or even what generation is. That's you, me, Dougie, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, aunts, and uncles, all of us. I don't care if you was born in 1920. What was the one simple piece of advice that everybody's mother said to them when they came in the house, before they sat down for lunch, before they sat down for dinner? Boy,
Wash your hands.
yes. Yes. So we coming from the hip hop culture, we've always been very informative. So the problem with a lot of people is, like Dougie said, some people don't even think about doing it. A lot of people don't listen. And you can have professional people, you can have doctors, lawyers, scientists, journalists tell the world, yo, you need to wash your hands for 20 seconds, but they won't listen. But if you use the arts, if you use music, if you use storytelling, if you use playwriting, if you use film, people will pay attention to the visual. People will pay attention to something that they hear. When you look at our children, a lot of the kids won't learn 1 + 1 is 2 if you're trying to teach them in the classroom. But if you put that over a beat, so we found a way. Dr. Williams, let's salute Dr. Williams. When I first got down with Hip Hop Health, Dougie came to me. Dougie and Easy A.B. came to me and said, yo, there's this doctor who loves hip hop, who wants to use hip hop to educate people. So right away I was like, in. So by Dougie being able to, and Dougie's like spontaneous combustion energy. You give him an idea, he'll write it, he'll create it, he'll do it. So
all day.
The easiest thing for all of us to be aware of, we are already set up with these abilities and the information. It's just about how do you present it. Now, we could have did the video without music. Here's Dougie Fresh telling you to wash your hands for 20 seconds. Here's DMC, here's Charlie and everybody. Nobody would really listen.
No.
But if you take clap your hands, everybody, something that people are already happy
and put
about.
The beat on it.
And put the beat on it and then switch it to wash your hands, everybody. Right away is something that your brain cells could grasp. So here in New Jersey, here all over this nation, here all over the world. Now think about it. Hip hop is a global phenomenon. When the people in Germany hear this, when the people in Japan hear it, they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're just the beginning.
Are you singing your song when you're washing your hands?
You know what? You know what's so crazy? I can't get it out of my mind for some reason.
Same here.
It's like, and then when I go to the back, when I'm washing my hands,
you start singing.
It's like right, and then I'm in it, like I'm actually in it more, like I'm damn near reliving the moment.
Right, exactly.
They had there was something that we were talking about when this whole thing started on my radio show about certain songs and the hooks. You know, it's exactly 20 minutes. It's kind of the old gimmick with, you know, brush your teeth and sing happy birthday twice. So lost them. Yeah, there he is, he's back. So, you know, so there were certain songs that you could, you know, sing easy hooks and wash your hands and get it done properly, blah, blah, blah. But then when I saw this, I was like, this is absolutely brilliant. Now, I come up with something that I think is clever. I tell my wife, she tells me to shut up. You guys come up with it. You reach out to all these legends in the hip hop community, you make a video, and everybody knows about it, and it's awesome, right? But I can't get your damn song out of my head, and it's killing me.
It's part of your life.
You're making me go through more soap, guys.
Right, exactly.
It's like I got your soap account went up. The soap account went up.
You know, kids will get it instantly. You know what I'm saying? Kids will get it instantly.
And even adults, because instinct, because adults are, a lot of them still have the playful energy.
Right.
But when you tap into it, I find when you tap into it, it kind of just reignites that energy in a person. And even if they don't show you when they're around you, when they by themselves,
they singing it. They do it.
Right.
Do you guys remember the first time y'all met?
Yes, I remember. I remember, Dougie. I remember it was you were shooting the it was with Harry Belafonte.
Right. And y'all was up there, right.
We came up there to meet Harry Belafonte. I think you was already in it, but Doug was crazy. Doug was telling Mr. Belafonte, what I love about Doug, we had the meeting in a car. I think it might have been Jay's 98, his big white lightning, but I remember you kept telling Mr. Belafonte, you said, Mr. Belafonte, I got this beatbox thing down pat, but I could rap. And I remember me,
Right.
I always knew that about you. People don't know you could rap your ass off. And I remember when you said that, I broke into, remember I had a tape of you? But I do the human
yeah.
beatbox and I rock the MIC. You hear them getting now, but they all got it from me because I'm a Leo and a Virgo. My birthday's on the crush, and when it comes to having fun, Dougie Fresh is in my city. You look at me. He was like, how you know that? But I had Doug is a big inspiration to me because I've always had, before Rappers Delight even came out, I had tapes of live performances of Dougie Fresh. So I remember that day because it was with Peri Belafonte. Who was
That's crazy.
Trying to get Run DMC on Beach Street.
Crazy, right?
But I always love you, Doug.
And we were going to be in it together, but then Russell felt like it wasn't going to be that y'all didn't get enough of a showcase as a brand to do it. Yeah, and so you know the end of that. So Harry told Mr. Belafonte told me later. He said to me, he said, Doug, I still want you in this, right? And then when he said that, then that's when Treacherous 3 made that routine. Now Forward ended up to now. Right. Now, just not too long ago, last month, Harry Belafonte made 93 years old. Wow. So at this event, I came in at the end and I surprised him. And I came up there and I thanked him for putting me in Beach Street and everything. And he left me a message. The message was crazy, man. He said, I want you to know something. As long as I'm alive, you will always be the second handsomest man in Harlem.
So go back to what you were saying. So, you know, you were saying that there was Dougie going to be in Run DMC?
No, he was just going to. He was going to be the music for us.
Right. I was going to do the beatbox for
and we was going to rap.
Well, would it have been like? Would you have? I mean, this is like could have been history changing. It could have been
right. That would have probably led. That would have definitely led to a record.
Right, it would have led to a lot of things.
What would we have called it? Run Fresh DMC?
Run
DMC.
It'd have been something ill.
Fresh Run DMC, right?
It'd have been ill. It'd have been ill, okay, for sure. Yeah, but I remember that day, man.
DMC is a historian, and you know what's so crazy? He knows so much about hip hop, and see, a lot of people don't understand that before, you know, Rappers Delight and all of that stuff. You know, like I go back to my first show when I performed was in '81 at Harlem World. Wow. That's the first time that I performed, and then I did a rap contest in '81. But '82 is when I made up when I introduced the beatbox in 1982, and I got a flyer from '82, which is crazy. Wow. So DMC remember, and he knows about like contests, and then I didn't even know you went to Rice.
I went to Rice High School. That's where I discovered. That's where I discovered. Oh shoot, there's a whole universe of this before it was on records. Like y'all guys, man, y'all guys like y'all know one of the guys that changed the world. Easy A.B. Like it's crazy to me. It's crazy that I'm involved in doing something for people with Dr. Williams, but I'm doing it with two of my idols, Dougie Fresh.
I love it, man.
The greatest person to ever do anything for anybody, and Easy A.D. of the Cold Crush.
Man, and this guy
Easy A.D.'s a positive brother too, man.
Yeah, man, but DMC's heart.
I always love talking to guys that are, you know, part of, you know, my life, you know.
Right. We're all part of each other's lives.
And just history. And and DMC, I interviewed you years ago when I was in Orlando. I mean, obviously, I don't expect you to remember it, but I just remember it being such an enjoyable interview when I had my radio show there. And the one thing that I took out of that, and this is far and few between in this world, and you guys are going to know this better than I do. But being in the entertainment business for 26 years, a lot of guys that have been there and done that don't appreciate being there and doing that. And so it's always so cool to hear guys that are in the history books, both you two right there, to just appreciate each other.
Each other, man. Come on, for sure.
Yeah,
man. We're talking, what is it? Like for Run DMC, what is it, 34 years last month, right?
Right, exactly.
That was the anniversary, 34 years.
4 years, it's crazy.
And we're talking about the first time that you and Dougie met.
It was just like yesterday. Like,
how cool
man,
like
that's the
yesterday,
beautiful
man.
thing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. It's so beautiful. And you know, it's funny too, you know, because you be looking back at this and you be wondering where the time went. You know what I mean?
You do.
Because when you hear numbers like 34 years, or I'm saying 81, or, you know, I mean, because I technically, you know, I'm starting to get my skills together in 80, but in 81 to perform at Harlem World was like,
legendary.
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Crazy.
So, and then I actually kept the flyer, because in 81, when I was working to get on, the flyer, they wrote my name wrong, and they wrote Doughy. They wrote Doughy D. They wrote Doughy D. So when I looked at it, and then when the guy made me give out the flyers, because you know this was part of the training.
Yep, you had to go give out the flyers.
Right. So I was like, yo, I can't give out this flyer. It got my name on it.
Got my name wrong.
He said, do you want to perform at Harlem World? I said, yeah.
Yes.
He said, you see that name on there? He said, that's going to be your name that night. You know he did tonight.
So he did tonight.
Did they leave? Right? Did they leave Run DMC off the flyer for Live Aid?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
They didn't want us on there.
Yeah, so that's
wow.
what did that. Because you guys, your set was what, right before Sting, right?
And we was the morning set.
Yeah.
We went on like 10:30 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
And the only reason that we was actually on it, Bill Graham, the legendary producer, he fought to get us on it. He said, if y'all don't put Run DMC on it, I'm not going to participate in it. And they looked at him and was like, well, why do you want these rap guys? It's not even going to be here next year. Like,
wow.
You know, when they have the meetings, Dougie, you know, the staff, they sit down and they pick the artists. And Bill Graham, he was like, you know, Bill Graham, he's one of the most legendary promoters in the game. You know what I'm saying? For what he did, San Francisco music, all of the Doors, all of that stuff. So
they
Bill
just
goes,
on the flyer, left you on.
Bill goes, I think Run DMC should be on the show, and everybody else goes, no. And Bill says, I'm not going to participate. So to appease Bill Graham, they put us on there. But it was a good thing that it happened. You know what I'm saying? But I want to add something else about Dougie. Once we started making these records, Run DMC's blowing up, Dougie Fresh is blowing up, everybody's making records. Now, this is a true statement. Rest in peace, Jam Master J. In our history of doing shows with solo artists, there was one guy, and he's on this cast with us right now, who always was a thorn in Run DMC's side. And that guy name was Dougie Fresh, because I'll never forget, we do a show with Dougie Fresh, and we was headlining, and Dougie went on right before us. And, you know, we knew what he could do, but then at this one particular moment, this one particular show, guys, Dougie pulls out a harmonica. And he starts doing the harmonica with the beatbox. And he's doing all of these melodies. The 4,000, 5,000 people in the venue is singing everything with Dougie Fresh and this and that. But that's everything. So Jam Master J comes and says, Jam Master J recipes, never again. Never again will we be on a show with that. I can't curse. That in my effort right there. It was the most fantastic thing me and DMC had ever seen in the history of a live hip-hop performance.
Oh, man, that's
crazy. We did not expect it. We came out, you dance, you rap, you take your beatbox, but then, all of a sudden, we thought it was over. Okay, it's our turn. He pulls out this harmonica. It was the most powerful thing we ever seen. And I'll never forget Jam Master J saying, never again.
God.
Hey, Doug, did you remember anybody in your career, I'm assuming early in your career, I mean, pre-success, saying, look, kid, just ain't going to work out for you?
Oh, man. Look, I had this guy around my neighborhood, a friend of mine. I would sit up there and I would study like DMC saying, man, that's like his story. I got stories like that, but I study people that I always acknowledge, like Melly Mel, from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. It was unbelievable. And there was a lot of other people in that group, from Cowboy to Ryan, just people that stood out. Right. And one day, a friend of mine around my block, when I was just rhyming and practicing, he said, yo, man, he said, yo, I wanna ask you something, man. Why do you keep doing this, man? Because you whack, man. You whack, right? And I was like, I had to step back from myself. And then I said, well, let me ask this dude, which is something artists normally don't do. But I said, why am I whack? He turned around, he said, say your rhyme one more time. So I said the rhyme. He said, see, you don't have your own style. You know what I mean? He said, you remind me of this one and that one. So when he said that to me, he said, yo, you not gonna pop, man. You not gonna pop. You might as well give it up. So I went back home with that information. Wow. And I took that information and I said, he will never be able to say that I don't have my own style. And that's one of the things that made me create the beatbox and also the pattern and the way that I rhyme. And then later on, he got locked up. He got locked up, right? He got locked up because, you know, he's from the hood. He got locked up. And then what happened is when he wrote me a letter, when the records came out, and he said, look, I want to tell you that what I said to you, I don't know if you remember the time we stood outside and I was talking to you and I told you you was whack. Wow. He said, boy, was I ever wrong. The same way I'm wrong for being here. He said, I'm proud of you. He said, I'm man enough to admit that I didn't see what you seen and the potential that you had. So I personally feel like when a person tells me things and I know inside myself, just like even this song, Wash Your Hands, people was looking at it like, people don't know that we come from the generation that hip hop always delivered messages, always said something in a record that we took home with us and we made it ours. Yeah. So if we could take something simple, like washing your hands, 20 seconds or more, and we give you images to see, it will affect you in some way, and hopefully it'll save lives. Because if you look at it, this pandemic, like we was talking about before, has changed the way we do things forever. I don't even know if it will ever go back to the way that things will go. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think things are gonna go back to the way that they were after all of this? Because I'm trying to figure it out. I think about this all the time.
We had this conversation on a daily basis,
It's a fascinating conversation. Yes, it's really interesting.
Mark Cuban refers to it as America 2.0. And, which I think is probably a good name. I make the comparisons to 9/11, not the actual disaster and tragedy, but as far as, we as humans adapt to the circumstance. Our kids, my kids, your kids will never know what it's like to go meet their grandmother at the gate at the airport, which sucks because that was one of my favorite things to do as a kid growing up. My grandmother was my rock. I love to run up to her at the airport. That was my favorite thing. My kids will never understand that. So, America 2.0, to answer your question, is, masks are going to be a fashion trend, right? Yeah. Gloves are going to be a thing. Not getting close to people, not shaking their hands. Yeah. Of what's up, man? How you doing? Right. I think it's gone. How people working remotely, doing stuff like this even. You're just going to have to adapt to that kind of stuff. And, us in our 40s and 50s and, older are going to be going, back in the day, we used to hug people.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah. That's deep, bro. That's deep. You said back in the day, we used to hug people. Wow, that's crazy.
10%. Your next. You put that and make people sick.
You heard me analyzing that, right? Yeah. You heard it.
Y'all like,
I know how that mind works. I got one just like it.
Because when I'm listening. He said 33%. 33. I don't mind. As long as we all winning, you know what I mean?
So, the question to the chef is, you think that's going to change the food and restaurant industry?
Ooh, good.
I like going to a restaurant, man.
Without a doubt. So, great question and great points, everybody. Like, we're all in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta now, but I'm originally from LA and lived in New York. So I say all that to say, like, you know, New York is all about going out, right? Because everybody lives on top of each other. So ain't nobody trying to be in the crib. You could live in a tiny spot or a walk up, right? So going out every night is a part of life, you know?
Right.
But like today, Georgia opened up for the governor. That's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother time. We don't got that long. But facts. But,
unbelievable, man.
But the fact that the restaurant owners themselves are saying, I don't even want that right now. You know what I mean? I'd rather stick to the to-go, the pickups, things of that nature, just to protect not only, you know, my clients, but my workers as well. I think it's definitely going to change. I don't think, you know, back in the day, man, I was telling before you got on DMC, I used to work in the music business, man. And I remember we used to do big dinners at like
catering.
Well, not even just catering, but just like we would all go out to like, what was that? The Bowery Room back in the day.
Yeah.
Russell used to have the parties with like 30 40 people at a table, right?
Exactly. The Pink Teacup, all those places.
Yeah, the Pink Teacup.
Nels.
Yep, was food.
Yeah, Nels. You know, we're not Shark Bar, whatever, you know, we're not doing that no more. That's over. You can't have 20, 30, 40, 50 people at a table. I don't even know if in dining, I think it's going to become more of a boutique experience. This is my own personal thought, right? So like, family style is out. They're going to be small plates, so it's going to be kind of tapas style individuals because people are going to be afraid to take stuff away, right? As well as you're only going to, you know, the thing back in the day was turning tables, right, for restaurants. That's how you make your money. Now you're only going to have maybe, let's say, 8 tables if you can. I'm just thinking from a, you know, a spatial.
And Matty J, probably less expensive food. Like, you know, I mean, I'm a fan of like octopus, for example. You know, I don't think people are going to be eating, you know, the higher end stuff anymore. They're going to want the inexpensive, basic hey, Bubba burger, because I don't think that came from God knows where, has got some kind of disease in it. You know what I mean?
Right. I think it's going to be too low, right? So, like a lot of the high-end restaurants here in Atlanta switched to doing just burgers to go, right? Easy, you know, keeps costs down, all of those types of things. But I think that people, there's a certain type of people, myself included, who going out as an experience, right? So, you know, you save up to do it, whether it's a date with your lady or promotion job, whatever it is. So I think that those high-end experiences will still be there for that segment. But I think the middle ground is what's going to suffer. So it's either going to be fast casual or high end. I don't think there's going to be that mid-level market that I think is gone.
Now the big question would be to ask Nate, my producer, how is this going to affect the weed industry, Nate?
Damn.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, already I'm Venmoing, drop it off in the mailbox. You know, I mean, whatever you do, just to not touch each other, I guess.
But I heard the weed business is exploding now after this pandemic for some reason. I don't know if that's true.
The or the hustle.
Yeah, it depends. You know, I don't know how the dispensaries are doing. You know, it's not legal here in Georgia, but you know, I don't know what they're doing out in California. But,
okay, right.
Yeah.
So, yo, I got a question. What did they actually open up in Georgia?
So
opening?
Let me run through the list because this is okay. So
the grand.
We've got gyms. You know, now like Matty J said, makes a great point. Not everybody's opening because. You know, a couple different reasons. One, either they don't agree with it, which a lot of people don't. I mean, when you have a guy like Trump that doesn't agree with his Republican governor in Georgia, you know you're way off, right? Like something.
Because, you know, he goes so hard that if he don't believe, you know, like that's a good way of gauging if you know what was right.
Right.
2 days in a row, he threw him under the bus.
That's something way off. So you got gyms, estheticians, massage parlors, nail salons, barbers.
Oh my God.
Wait for it. The best out of them all.
What?
Come on.
Bowling alleys.
Boom.
Wow.
My theory, fellas, is that Governor Kemp's wife said, Brian, I can't stay in this damn house anymore.
So you got to open up the nail pot salon.
Yep.
Say, do you see my nails?
Nails done.
Do you see how my nails look?
Yeah. Look at my hair. You see my hair?
Been saying.
By the way, my girlfriend Fran wants to get back into bowling, and that's how that went down.
It goes even deeper, Jason. Her brother owns the building that the bowling alley is in.
Oh, right, exactly.
One of his brother-in-law owns a massage parlor building,
Probably like one
or
of those.
something, so that they can collect. Here's the other thing, so they can collect rent starting Monday, because now technically you're not on legal lockdown. So now I want my bread as the landlord.
So what does the governor know that we don't know?
Well,
For him to make that call.
I'm an optimist, so
Right.
You know, I'm not a party guy.
Right.
I even hate to talk about politics, but
Right.
I'm an optimist. You know, I try to find the good in people, even though I'm a skeptic, which sounds kind of hypocritical. But anyway, so I'm hoping the dude knows more than I do.
You're an optimistic skeptic. That's good.
That's right. That's right. That's another level. That's another level.
Right.
I'm a free thinker, and I do my own thing, and I really don't give a shit what other people think. So
I can see from your background, you don't give a god. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do.
I'm in my cabin in North Georgia, Paradise City. Fellas, you're more than welcome to stay here anytime. It's badass. I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to grill some burgers. I'm going to drink some drinks. And I'm going to do and I might shoot some shit in the backyard. But that's about it. I'm done. I got to get a break. You know, so anyway. Look, before we finish this up, couple questions, please, if you don't mind.
Yep.
D, question for you. The shoes. How much are they and when do they come out? The Adidas. The Run DMC.
Oh, the Adidas, they're gonna be like probably $100, something like that. And they were supposed to be out in April, but all this happened. So April, May, let's say June.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and it's gonna be a sneakers. There's 2 different pairs of sneakers, and it's gonna be sweatshirts and t-shirts.
So the reason I bring that up is my daughter, because what was old once is new again.
Right.
And you know, we're seeing Fila and Champion and Adidas. So
Right.
my daughter's 14. She's sporting all this Adidas gear around the house. And I say to her, I go, do you understand? And she says, what are you talking about? I said, do you understand what you're wearing? And she says, I don't know what you mean. I said, I'm not going to allow you to wear Adidas, and I'm not going to buy you any more Adidas until you go upstairs and you do just a verbal report on Adidas. I was like, Michael Jordan made Nike. You tell me who made Adidas. And she comes down and she goes, so I read a lot about these guys Run DMC.
Wow.
And I said, now go back upstairs. I mean, this was like 6 months ago, a year ago.
Right.
You go back upstairs and you come back down and you tell me about Run DMC. She comes back down. She just rattles it all off. And I said, that's why you're wearing Adidas. And she goes, oh, okay. I said, and then I went in to put myself over. I was like, you know, some years ago, I interviewed DMC when I was in Orlando, nicest guy in the world.
I know the guy, right?
But so I got no problem forking out $100 for her to have why people wear Adidas.
The 3 stripes, exactly.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Did y'all design anything? Did y'all put any new twist to it, or how?
No, not yet. That's the next move, though, because everybody's saying it. But what they're doing now, they're re-releasing the whole '86 line, the vintage line. But the next thing to break it up, so we're gonna put the Monday. We gotta find a sneaker or create a sneaker and put the Run DMC logo on something new. That's a great question. Because then that'll keep us in there. You know what I'm saying? We can't just keep dealing with both generations. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Great question. Now, that's our next move. We're going to reintroduce the original line. Because people know Run DMC and Shell Toe. So now we're going to reintroduce what was actually out in '86. So, you know, our people from our generation can reminisce, and the new generation, they're just looking at it as fashion. So they don't even know who we are, but they're going to be, yo, that's hot. Then if we throw the Run DMC logo on something that looked like the boost or something, then we kind of doing it right. You know what I'm saying? But,
right.
What I wanted to say was I was speaking at a high school one time, and when it was time for Q&A, there's always this smart aleck kid that'll put his hand up and go, yo, DMC, you old school, you guys are over. And I said, thank you. And it kind of threw him off, right? He was like, thank you, because he's trying to diss me. So I was like, yes, I'm over. Thank you for saying it. So now he's looking at me different, like, yo, where's that coming from? He's like, what do you mean? You guys are over. I said, yes, man. I was just over in Germany last week. I'm going over to Japan next week. I'll be in. So the whole gym bug was like, ooh. Then he tried to diss us, man. He said, yeah, but y'all played out, you know what I'm saying? My dad told me about the Adidas records and stuff like that. But then he went into the Kanye Yeezy thing. And I salute Kanye for what he did, because Kanye, even when the day Kanye got his deal, he said he signed with Adidas, got in the car, and Sirius XM was playing Adidas. And Kanye was like, this is a sign from heaven. So fast forward, this kid tried to diss me, your Run DMC old school originals is played out. It's all about Yeezy and Kanye, right? So Doug, I hit him with this. I said, oh, really? I said, no curls, no braids, PZ Hens still get paid. I am the reason why Yeezys can get made. And the whole gym was like, oh.
That's exactly right.
The whole gym was like, ooh.
See, that's using freestyle skills in the right way.
Yeah,
in the right way. You know what I mean?
The kids was like, yeah, I'm telling you, my grandfather told me about what they did with Adidas. So yeah, Adidas is still part of the whole thing. And
Doug,
you know what?
That's great.
People don't know, Doug, we know this, man. People always thought, because Run DMC put it out so prominently, people always thought it was Adidas in New York, but Pumas was hot in New York too.
Right.
At the same
exactly.
time, you would even get your Pumas, you would get your Adidas, but a lot of people don't know Pumas and Adidas. The brothers at Adidas had a fight.
That's exactly right.
One brother cursed the other brother out, left the company, and went and started Puma.
Did he
That's
really?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And they were both on two different sides of the water, kind of like a lake. Yep. And they actually had a fight over the war. They had a fight over their disagreement about the war. So then that's when Puma and Adidas they split up, and actually I heard they never spoke again. Which is very interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dougie, do you remember anything when you first started? You look back at some old pictures and go, man, that was a bad choice to wear.
When I look at Beach Street, and there's a guy named Lester Wilson who told me, because they had to make this scene funny because Treacherous 3 was saying they got me the beatbox. They got it from down the block. They were so poor that they couldn't get a real beatbox, so they had to get me to do the beatbox. You know what I mean? So he said, "Look, man, you gotta look poor, man. You gotta look like." So Lester Wilson, who was a great choreographer, who choreographed Motown 25 and a bunch of stuff, he put a hat on me. And I was like, why is he doing this? I just had my curls done so nicely. And he just crushed them and and then he took his glasses off and put them. He said, now you look funny. So when I look back at it, I always be looking at it and going, wow.
Oh, I think, did we lose him? Or is that?
I think his connection might be coming back in.
Yeah, but you guys, so we'll wait for him to come back, but when Run DMC, you played it smart, man. Adidas shoes, all black. Bam.
Played it simple.
Was that on purpose?
Yeah, it was. Well, actually, it was because of Master J. Prior to us coming out with the first album, we was actually all over the place. Like, it's so funny. For the first couple of months of Run DMC, I was actually wearing Pumas. Run was wearing Adidas and I was wearing Pumas, but what had happened was we didn't have a cohesive wardrobe until we put Jam Master J in the group. And the first time we did a show, when we went to pick Jay up, he steps out on his steps of his house. He had the big 4-speaker JVC. Remember the 4-speaker 2 cassette JVC? He had the Adidas on with no laces in them. He had the Adidas suit on, and he had the Godfather hat. Him and DJ Hurricane of the Beastie Boys, Jam Master J and DJ Hurricane the way Run DMC dressed was the way him and Kane dressed to go to high school. So that's how they used to walk around. They had the Godfather hat, stuff like that. So when we finally put Jay in the group, after me and one made the record, we like, okay, now we need a DJ. We put Jay in the group. It wasn't until we saw Jam Master Jay's style that we said, that's it. That's going to be our wardrobe. But the reason why we didn't dress up was because a lot of people don't know the first rappers had no rappers to look up to. When we came along, the way we dressed was how the MCs, DJ, graffiti writers, and breakdancers was dressing in New York City. Kango hats, gazelles, Adidas suits. The first rappers, everybody before Run DMC, they were the first rappers, so they didn't have no rappers to look up to. So their idols was Parliament Funkadelic, the Rolling Stones, and all the punk guys, like Sid Vicious. That's why when you look at the early rappers, they dressed like the rock and roll guys did. They looked like the Ramones. They looked like Parliament Funkadelic. When we came along, we told Russell, we're not putting on stage attire because we want our audience to be able to relate to us. So when you saw us dressed like all the other young people, it was easy for you, whether you lived in California, whether you lived in Brooklyn, whether you was white, Puerto Rican, or Asian. When you saw Run DMC, at that time, we were big to y'all, but y'all didn't see celebrity. In some way, you saw yourselves, and that was important.
Well, it's the same with NWA. You know, they, you know, with that West Coast thing. I mean, they were right here. You know, and
well, they got that from us.
They did.
Let's not get it twisted. Everybody knows me, Run DMC. Look at the cover that Walk This Way album, because we was rocking those black Raider jackets first.
Yep.
So
and Cube said that. Cube said, yo, we was just trying to be like Run DMC, you know.
Really?
He was the first to have the Raider jackets. Yeah, go back and look. You'll see.
I didn't know that. I thought they got it from the same, you know.
It worked for them because they were LA. It was evil. It was hard. You know what I'm saying? But even in the movie Straight Outta Compton, there was a scene where they were in the studio. Even though they were making hardcore gangster rap, I'm talking about every group. Naughty by Nature, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Salt and Pepper, NWA, Public Enemy. Every time I'm with them, they say, man, we were just trying to be your guys.
They were our black Rolling Stones, dude. They were everything. I can tell you real quick before we get a chance to go. My first time seeing you, you won't remember this show, but it was at a place in LA called the Hollywood Palladium.
Oh, yes. I remember Palladium.
November 1985, because I had just turned 15, and my brother bought me tickets and took me. It was a huge deal, right?
Was that on a show with wait, don't tell me. It was Run DMC.
Yep, you headlined.
Beastie Boys. Hold up. Run DMC, Beastie Boys. What's the group name? Run DMC, Beastie Boys, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes, you do remember.
Yeah, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was
one more group.
The punk guys.
Remember?
What's the name of the group? Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and not Slipknot. What's the name of that band?
Social Distortion.
No.
I'm guessing.
Oh shoot! What's the name of that band?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
Give him a hint.
Fishbone.
What?
Fishbone. Yes. Fishbone.
They must have opened.
I remember that show. Yeah, that was an incredible show.
Beastie Boys weren't even on the flyer at that time.
Right. They were just traveling with us.
They were just traveling with you guys, and Red Hot Chili Peppers opened up for them because they were just
exactly.
Local band.
They were open. Yep. Red Hot Chili Peppers was an opening. I remember that show, kid.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yep. Fishbone.
Yep.
Wow. That's a Palladium. I remember that.
So you guys headlined, right?
Yeah, we were the headline. 1980. King of Rock. King of Rock was the big song.
And I'll never forget because I was in the mosh pit because that's what we had to do.
Yep. We had mosh pit.
In LA. You couldn't. Run DMC was considered gangster rap, whether you guys understand that or not, because of the way that they were like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you couldn't book a rap band in LA. You had to have, like, I saw you guys one time. There was a punk band called Minor Threat or 7 Seconds.
Yeah.
You remember them?
They used to have to book us with other bands.
Yeah, you had to be with a punk band because otherwise the gang fights would be too crazy. So you had to book them with like a punk band or a rock band. That was the only way you could get in a show. So and I remember, man, because I was riding on my brother's shoulders, slapping and crowd surfing, And that was right when you guys looked at me. You were like, and shut up and kicked it.
Oh,
and Jay, I mean, like, dude, like you said, I'll be 50 next month in June. And I was 15, and I will never, ever get that moment. That's like being blessed by the king. You know what I'm saying? You guys have no idea what that was like.
Dougie, we're talking about 1985, LA Palladium, Hollywood Palladium, Run DMC headlining. Some band called the Chili Peppers and some band called Beastie Boys opened up. I don't know if
That's crazy.
Harmonica or not, but that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I apologize because something happened with my phone, but I said I had to come back because I know that we gotta eat in a minute. So food always brings me back to the table.
Wear gloves. Wear gloves.
Let's wrap it up here, guys.
Get it out.
Matty J is gonna play this up, and let me say this: Dougie Fresh, DMC, you guys. I'm such a huge fan. Thank you so much for your time today. I mean, like, you're just the coolest dudes, man. I mean,
well, you cooler too, man. You cooler than us, man. Thank you for helping us get our message out too.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I want everybody listening, watching, to make sure, just, dude, wash your hands.
Everybody.
Wash hands. So, I mean, like, it gets in your head. So, I mean, it's a really cool cast of celebrities that have participated in this. We've got the link right here where you're watching this on the Shoot Your Grill podcast site. So you can do that, but it's 20 seconds. The video is 3.5 minutes. You want to watch the whole video because you get to see all these cameos.
Right,
but that's something that, dude, every day when you go into the bathroom, you will use more soap and more water because you'll be like, everybody wash your hands. And then
saving lives
exactly.
Seriously,
when you want to go and give your grandma a hug, or your father, or your sister, or your brother, or your nephew, or whoever, you don't even realize, man, that this virus is so tricky that the only way we can deal with it properly is we got to be ready, and just washing your hands could save a lot of lives, man.
Exactly.
We have a tendency as human beings, especially Americans, to think that we're indestructible and nothing can touch us. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. Right. So, something as simple as washing your hands, putting a mask on, self-isolating, doing what we need to do to flatten the curve and get through this. And hopefully the people that we trust can take care of business for us. But, man, I mean, and I buy, look, I could, we could do a totally different podcast and I could be way more serious and get into more philosophical stuff about this, but we're having too much fun. So Matty J is going to play it up, but you guys are really cool. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, man.
So we got the video, we got washing hands, we got shoes coming out in a little bit.
Yes, we do.
We got possibly a biopic for Run DMC coming out in a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
Hip hop public health.
Hip hop public health.
Everything health. For everything health.
By the way, Matty J, I'm kind of stalling here until he plates up the shrimp. But so if we do the biopic for Run DMC, who's playing who?
I guess our sons could play us. Because we all got sons who are at that age of when we was in our 20s. One son, my son, and Jim Messenger. They're going to have to learn.
Oh, okay.
They're going to have to learn. Look, Ice Cube's son learned to act.
Son.
Yeah. Remember? Ice Cube's son never did it before.
My buddy, Neil Brown Jr., he was in that movie. And he said he had a blast doing it. It was like kind of such a huge fan.
Right.
But, when I was thinking about, I was like, so is there anybody in particular, but you're going straight to family, nepotism, right? For the Run DMC biopic.
Well, I mean, because you want the closest thing to reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you got to look at the actor. Unless you find somebody that looks exactly like us, but who better knows who we are when we're not on stage in our own flesh and blood? See, that's key to, it's easy to get somebody up to the pretend they're running me and Jay DJing. It's a performance art. But we want the film to capture who we are as people. So who's closer to, look, even if our sons ain't like us, they know what, they mad at us and we get on their nerves and this and that. Oh, I could tell you about my father in a minute. But you just want the closest thing to reality. Just like when you look at NWA, the NWA film, Cube's son actually was Cube.
Yeah.
He looked like them, he acted like
He
them.
definitely was Cube, no question of that.
Remember that? But even without saying stuff, just to stare, you know how Cube got those looks. So those things, but you never know. It's not, Cube didn't hand it to his son. He gave him the opportunity.
I was just waiting.
You know what I'm saying? Cube said, I ain't going to hand it to you. You're going to have to learn how to act.
I was just waiting for, at some point in the movie, which would make no sense whatsoever, all I wanted him to do was like, ain't nothing else to do in the pen. You know, that hood. Oh my God. That's all I wanted was.
That's all you was waiting for, exactly.
All I was waiting for. Yeah. Dougie, if we got a biopic, Dougie Fresh, human beatbox, who's playing you?
Wow.
Well, you know, that's complicated. So I'd have to figure that one out. Unless they let me do the voiceover, so the people, when they move in their mouth, I can go.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, yeah, but we're gonna figure it out. It's interesting too about the biopics. You know, people have asked me to do a lot of that stuff, and very deep for me. You know, for some reason, I just feel like, you know, not just yet. I got a few more tricks to deliver.
Exactly. A few more harmonicas to pull out your pocket and crush people with.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because I've got a buddy in the business, and he's got a lot of offers for not necessarily the biopic thing, more it would be the book, and he refuses to do the book because in his mind he's not done, and he's not done.
Exactly.
I know it's stretching the imagination, but to him, he's like, once I do this biography, like maybe the public's going to think I'm done.
Right. So I'm not dead yet. I say that. Oh, I don't want to do that yet. I'm not dead yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. Matty J, you got the shrimp? We're ready to go?
Yeah, we are ready to go, gentlemen.
Look at that.
Woo! Oh, my goodness.
Peri chicken.
Peri chicken.
I mean, shrimp. Shrimp.
Yeah, man.
You know, so that's an honor. That's an honor of you know, Dougie's West Indian, you know, D-Mac, you trying to, you know, eat healthy, do that.
Yes, sir.
So
and it tastes good.
It's warming up, so this is perfect. Simple, easy grilling, guys. So just real quick, anybody who's out there watching, 2 minutes aside, season with your favorite seasonings. If you can't make peri sauce, with there are a lot of recipes, I'll put it up on the website for you guys.
I'm hungry now, man.
And then you know, make sure you eat is clean, natural, wild. I don't do farm, you know, raised, to try to eat clean. And just a great way to have a great weekend with two legends that I'm blessed to
appreciate this, brother.
Damn, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. That's right.
We're doing it at about 450 on the KJ.
Yep, exactly. It was at 450 on the KJ. That way, I put a little for Dougie and for Darryl Mack can appreciate this. Put the you know, pimento wood. So you get that, you know, on there. Yeah. So, you know, get a little Caribbean flavor with that.
That's a masterpiece right there.
Yeah. With the West African peri flavors, you know. And,
so let me set this up right here now. So again, I'm here in my cabin in North Georgia, taking a nice little weekend furlough. I'd like to invite Dougie and D to Paradise City.
Okay.
And Matty J will come up
and we'll eat.
And he'll cook us all some food.
Done.
Nate will bring what Nate brings, the salad, let's just say. And we will eat s'mores and shrimp. Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Real love, man.
That's a date.
Real love.
Look, a big thanks to the Poker Pair Club. You go to stgpoker.com, sign up for that for your poker players, win some money, cash out, get the good stuff. Mabel's, that's Matty J's catering. He is the best chef in the business. He really is not just a great chef, but just an amazing person. I mean, you want to be around Matty J. He's just
right on.
fantastic.
Well, you know, one thing too is the energy of a person goes into the food as well.
Exactly.
Because the same way when we make songs, you kind of feel that spirit. That's what made Run DMC such an effective brand to me, or even just the energy of the way that a person says something. Yep. I find that when a person is cooking something, and if they don't really want to cook it, it usually don't taste as good. Yep. When a person really loves to cook, you could taste the love in the food. Am I correct with that?
For real.
Do you all agree?
Yes. Absolutely. You can't just go up there and same with you got to have some love and some passion. You know, we put in there. So I think there he is. So Dougie Fresh, dude, thanks for you doing with the hand washing. I love it. I love you. You're just an amazing dude altogether.
You too, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending so much time with us, man. That was like really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And DMC,
thank you.
Well, it was good to talk to you again, man.
I'll see you in person. I'm coming next time I come to Atlanta. When this lifts, I'll come by the studio. We got it. And I'll come up to the cabin and eat.
Oh, my God. Paradise City. Me and you some shrimp. I'm telling you. Play out.
I'm there.
And Nate, thank you, brother, for putting us all together.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate.
Podcast, another successful edition. Be safe, everybody, with this damn pandemic going on. Listen to Dougie Fresh. Listen to DMC. Eat the food that Matty J puts in your mouth, and keep listening to the podcast. Thank you all very much for joining us. Bye.